Hi everyone, Ken Mason from Whispering Souls. So some people have asked me, how I do reads and kind of the content and where the reads kind of go, how long they are. So what I've attached is a read that I've done with a person who's given me permission to broadcast this or broadcast a read, and it just gives you an overview view of how I read and where and what I do. Um, again, if you're interested in a read, just contact us in the message just over there, and and we can help you with that. So anyway, here's the read. So I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Bye. So what I do is I start off with the tarot cards, and then I bring in your spirit guide or guardian angel, who will talk to you about your spiritual abilities, what you're doing in life, who's haunting you,
Hopefully no one.
your ability to spiritually slap people without them knowing. Usually something most women like, especially if you have men. Um, and then you have time at the end to ask questions. I have a weird sense of humor, as you probably noticed. So
That's okay. It's what makes you unique.
yeah, my wife's name is Unique. We call her Monique, but then we just take out the Mo, Unique. She is certainly unique.
That's why you married her, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, she grabbed me and never let me go. Yeah, we've been married for 30 years. So.
That's a long time.
Yep. Yeah, some men say that. So first, like I said, these are the tarot cards that go up to 4 years. And tarot are all things that are kind of around you and things that are coming. And they're all things that you can change if you want to. Especially little warnings, right?
Mm-hmm.
So much junk in here right now. I should blame my kids. It's easier to blame kids than to blame yourself.
It is.
Anyway, so you have a partner?
Yes.
So the first cards that I have coming up here is about your relationship. So joining up two. So if you're married, the joining up two maybe to start a project or to do things with each other. But we also have beside here the joining or new spiritual communications, connecting to your spirit guide, being able to do your spiritual world. And both of you working together, you can obviously yourself are dancing, but you're able to communicate more. It's similar to what you probably do already, where you suddenly think of something and then he'll say it. And you go, get out of my mind. Hey, maybe pizza's good. And they'll go, hey, how about a pizza? So a lot of that communication is going to get a lot stronger. And it's just one of the things as you move forward that we talk 95% of the time on the spiritual world and 5% of the time in the physical world. You'll notice that because all of a sudden you'll think of somebody, then the phone will ring and it's that person. It's usually, it's like your mother may be trying to get a hold of you through your mind and you're going, and she'll go, wait, she's not answering. She's not paying attention. Why isn't she? Then she'll pick up the phone and dial you and you go, I was trying to communicate with you. And you go, I was just thinking about you. And it's all that communication on the spiritual world that we got, especially if you have kids.
Yes.
Especially when before they can talk, you'll notice you're up 5 minutes before they are. Especially, in the middle of the night, you'll wake up and you'll get ready, get it before the kid starts screaming at you. And that's because the kid, while you're asleep, is talking to you saying, hey, you know what, I've got to I got a diaper needs to be changed. I'm hungry. You got 5 minutes before I start screaming. So I'm giving you a warning. So get up. Right. It's usually really fun when you like elbow your husband and saying, "Hey, the kid's awake." He'll go, "No, it's not." "Oh, it's going to be awake in a second." He says, "No, I don't hear anything." Right. And then of course the kid starts screaming. Because men always say, "Why do women have that?" Okay, you had them for 9 months,
Intuition.
right? Yeah. As soon as you conceive them, they create that hook in you. And that's that 95% talk back and forth. That's why you always have cravings. You don't know why you're having those cravings. It's like your kids
They're
going,
telling us.
yeah, it's like, maybe a hamburger would be good tonight. And you sit there, how am I craving a hamburger? You know, because they're telling you what they would like. It's like to them, it's like a hospital ward, right? Hey, I had this last night. Oh, I hated that. You know, and a lot of people ask me about pickles, and that's because if they come from a really old time, that's how they used to brine their food,
Mhm.
using vinegar and pickles. So that's what they know. So it's not actually pickles; it's the taste they had in those times. Anyway, so some need to go out and get some time in nature. So for you to spend some time, or you and your family to go out and spend some time away from the house, away from crap. Just in where you are, you probably have lots of nature, but it's just more or less just go out and walk and you know take your kids, put them in a forest somewhere, then run away from them. See if they can find their way home.
They probably could.
Well, you are their beaming. Their what do you call that? Yeah. You beam so they can find you, right?
Guiding light.
You could be anywhere in the house, they'll find you. Just that's the curse women have with kids.
Yeah.
Go try have a bath. Anyway, you may also have conflicts at work or around you right now. So this is all stuff that you're going to kind of need to kind of deal with. Put your foot down. So I don't need this shit anymore. I'm just kind of saying, this is what I'm doing. Don't like it. Go away. Or if it's your boss, be saying, I don't care. I'm here 9 to 5. If you're working. If it's your partner, I'm only here 9 to 5. The rest is yours. You come home at 5. The rest is yours. I'm done work too. Like that would work.
Yeah.
Enjoying life as well. So being like a little child, go out and enjoy life like a child would. If you hear that, it's my cat trying to come in the house. And at the end, we have the page of cups saying you're going to be happy over the next little while. So there's all kinds of new stuff coming up for you. There's just a few little adjustments to do. Does that make sense so far?
Yep.
So do you know what a spirit guide is?
Do I know who my spirit guide is?
Now, do you know what a spirit guide is?
Yes.
Okay. There's the one that presents themselves as a female.
Yes.
And she likes to annoy you every once in a while.
Yes.
So she's a bit of a joker. She likes to play jokes on you, or you might find something in your head that you suddenly laugh at, or have like what I call the inside jokes. Just like you start giggling, people look at you, what are you giggling about? I know it's an inside joke. That's how I say it, right? But she's saying that there's a lot more movement for you in the spirituality as well. And she says you're being assisted by I'm assuming it's a grandmother that's walking around with you. So I'll introduce you to her in a minute, because she's standing behind you there, just complaining that your corners are not dusted. That's what they do. Because
Yeah.
she's pointing at the ceiling part there. And she goes, "It's not dusted." I don't know. Maybe you have what's the word?
Does she want to clean it?
Spider. It's like a spider. You know. No, she wants to clean it.
She can. I won't object.
No, but no, she's telling you to do it.
Oh, well, that doesn't help me.
No, she says it. Teaches you. She says it. She do it. It teaches you the importance of doing it. Anyway, I'm gonna skip your spirit guide and talk to her because she's a little pushy. One thing she wants you to know that, as most say, they're in your house. They like to follow you. Yeah. Especially when you find yourself waking up at 3:30 in the morning.
Oh, that's why.
Mm-hmm. They tend to do that a lot. But she's also rubbing you on your shoulders. She says there's a lot of stress on you. So she's trying to get rid of that stress, trying to help you. So you might find your shoulders all of a sudden tingle or relax for no apparent reason, or you go, "Oh, where did that come from?" But she's often walking around your house, and she says she also moves things that are places that are not supposed to be. So I don't know if you see things moving around. But, and she also gets you have kids, right? Too?
Yes.
Yeah. She gets your kids to fight just because she likes to. It's one of those things where they'll suddenly say, "Hey, why'd you touch my stuff?" And they'll say, "No, I didn't touch your stuff." And then they're off and fighting because something been moved or it's not in the right place. And somebody says, "Hey, it's moved. It can only be you."
Yep.
And that's her basically liking to argue with them. Um, and you only have two, right?
3.
Three? Okay. Okay. Well, don't know if you know this, Ness, but you were supposed to have 4.
Yes. A little
And
boy.
that one is still around your house.
We actually think he might have been a twin to one of mine. Because I believe he's around 10, 9 or 10.
Yeah, yeah, she says he was supposed to be a twin. But he's another one that's harassing your kids. So now they got 2 spirits trying to harass them. But you might find the one that's in spirit, you'll find more talking to your kids. You'll have one that's probably just babbling away in a corner or something, or just talking to themselves, or that's usually like he shows himself sitting in one child that was reading a book in the bed.
Right now?
Yeah. And it's just like, hmm?
That's my oldest.
Yeah. So it's just like sitting, I don't know if it's a girl or not, but it shows it as a girl. So it's a girl spirit anyways, but it just shows himself pointing at a page on the book. Says, read that one. You know?
It's my oldest daughter.
Okay.
She just got a bunch of new books. So she's reading them.
Yeah. So that's just the child saying that, just proving that it's him. Like, I wouldn't know that, right?
Yeah.
So they're just pointing out that, hey, we're watching you. It's like your grandmother says, hey, you know what? You can do whatever you want. I still know what you're doing. Because I watch it. But she says she talks to you a lot when you're in a shower or having a bath. Basically, because you're in water and they're electrical. So they can go through water much faster than air. So you'll notice that when you have your aha moments while you're in there, the sun revelations. Oh, how come I didn't think of that before? Yeah, no, well, because I never told you before. Just stupid little things, right? But she wants to know that she's very proud of you. And you're doing very well. She's your mother's mother.
Yep.
So she's taking care of your mother as well. So I don't know if there's any issues, but she's just saying that she's giving her a lot of energy just to get her to move on.
My
So,
mother to move on?
yeah, no, not to move on to the other side, but to move in life, you know, get out of the chair,
Yeah.
do things that would help her instead of her helping other people. But so in other words, she says, I'm just sitting there and kicking her in the ass every once in a while. But no, she'll be around for a while. Don't have to worry about that one.
Will I?
What?
Will I be on for a while?
Yeah. She says you're looking about 89 before you pass. So you will have great grandkids. Yeah. She also pointed out to your three kids and says they'll be successful in their own way. Says they all have their own personalities. Um, she says oh, your oldest is more intelligent and more wanting to learn and more wanting university and all that kind of stuff. And the middle one is more of a whatever.
Yep, that's bang on.
And the youngest one will be more of a will be very intelligent too, but will be delayed in that. So they'll be more into exploring instead of learning. So it's
Hands
kind of
on.
so the other one's more let's go, and the middle one's going I don't care. The other one says wait a minute, I got to think about this. So it's just it says they'll all be successful, so you don't have to worry about it too much. So you'll have the ordinary parent slash kid slash arguments that every parent go through. She went through, your mother went through, you're going to go through, your kids are going to go through. It's just because when teenagers come, they just think they know everything. Right?
Isn't that true?
Yeah, they turn 13, look at you, says you're old. We're the new generation.
Yep.
They learn fast enough, I think. No, she watches all over them, so they know it. Just let them know. Yeah. Other than that, she says there's not much else that's going to happen. Says as you guys move out of the COVID thing, then things will go back to normal, as normal can be. The only other thing I'm kind of seeing is your husband is I'm not sure when this is 5 or 6 years down the road. It's just showing he may have an issue with one of his legs. So I don't know if he needs his legs to work. It's not like really, really serious as in losing his leg. It's more of him paying attention that he'll get pain and he has to take care of it. And if he doesn't take care of it, then it'll just get worse. So as she says, have him point out to where the pain is. And then once he shows it to you or points to it, kick it. So it gets worse. And then take him to the doctor. That way he won't have a choice.
Yeah.
But all of that, she says, typical arguments going through. She doesn't see any problems. It's going to happen for a long time. So your spirit guide. Spirit guide says she talks a lot. Yeah, they're arguing in the background now. Anyway, so your spirit guide wants you to know that you're very strong on the spiritual side. You always have been. You and your daughter are very, very connected spiritually. And almost every female I know is a healer, because that's just an emotional thing. But there's different levels, right?
Yep.
So the first one is the psychological healer, which is where you're strong at. That's just people coming up to you and asking for help without you even asking for it. sitting there having a coffee, just minding your own business. Hey, I know you're from somewhere and I'm having a real problem with my life. And what do you think? And so forth. And you're sitting there going, I have no idea what you're trying to tell me. No, why are you telling me this shit? Like, just go away. I mean, that's the male way, right? Most of the females will sit there, oh, she having a problem. Well, I guess I should help her. Because one of the things with females is that they believe that they need to help people.
I believe that.
And your spirit guide says, no, you don't. That's something that is within you. But what spirit guide's saying is when you look at it is that your life has a certain amount of life or time, right? So remember that as people talk to you, they're taking that time away from you. So yes, you help people, but at the same time you look at it and says, okay, well, I can't talk to you for a whole hour. So I'm going to help you, but I'm going to give you 20 minutes. And that way you have 40 minutes left for you. So a lot of people tend to take all that time, right? Mm-hmm. And then you have the issue of having the psychic vampires who come in here and talk to you for an hour. You got a headache. You just want them to go away. You have to have a nap. And what they're doing is just taking away your energy. They don't care if you help them. They just want your energy. And then you take another hour to recover, which means you just lost 2 hours and haven't done anything that you wanted to do. Mm-hmm. Right? It's like people popping over while you're trying to make a cake, like, hey, I'm trying to get something done here. Why are you here? Yeah. So they're basically saying is that make sure you book time on a calendar that's yours. Take an actual calendar and say, 10 to 2 on a Saturday, this is my time. Wednesday night for 3 hours, I'm gone. You guys make your own pizza, whatever. I'm gone. I'm going to see my friends, whatnot, sit in gyms. I don't want anybody with me. And take time away. So you have time to think, recover, all that kind of stuff. Especially with 3 kids.
Yeah.
Right. You work outside the house?
Yes. Right now I'm working from home though.
Okay. Like one of the examples they always say is when you leave work, you have the stress of after work. You get into a car, then you have the stress of the car to get home, and then you get out of the car and you get into the house, and that's the third stress. Because it's waiting for you. Mm-hmm. Right? So within those stresses, they always say take 5 minutes. When you get home, take a bit of a walk. Just don't go in the house right away. Stay in the car, play music you like. Just do stuff that you would like to do. So that way it takes away that stress, that in-between stress. So that way when you're done, you can take that deep breath. So, okay, I'm ready for I'm ready for the beast. Right? Because, you not only have 3 kids, you have the 4th kid that's there as well.
The husband?
The husband, right? No, I can't say.
I have 5 if you include the spirit one.
Yeah. So, not all men are that bad, but there are a lot of men that are old-fashioned. Like, hey, I do the work, you stay home, take care of the kids. But still, those around, right? Yeah. So they'll sit there in their chair waiting for you to come home and say, "Where's supper?" Right? But that's why they say take the time to go out for a walk. Move away from the house. Well, not move, but I mean walk away from the house and take time away from the stress. Your house is the biggest stress in your life. Right? Considering, you have to clean, you have to get the dishes done, cook, get the kids away, the laundry, all that is more or less the women do that, right?
What you're telling me is I need a cleaner.
Yeah.
That'll get rid of my stress.
Oh yeah, unless you just go away and tell them to do it. Right? True. However, I've seen men do the laundry. That's not a nice scene. It's like put everything in at the same time. It'll be okay. And everybody in the house may be wearing pink until you buy new stuff.
Or 3 sizes too small.
That too. Anyway, I'd like to poke at men, right? They always say that men are all idiots until they're trained. So, I believe that. I'm one of them. Anyway, so your guide's saying you'll also have a lot of lot of work with your intuition coming your way. I forgot the other two. So, okay. So the second one, sorry, going back to healing, is the Reiki stuff, the hands-on healing. I don't know if you do that or not. But
Yep.
the third one is the natural stuff. So yeah, so your Reiki will increase. He's referring to your healing part. But the third part is what we call the spiritual communications or healing, which is done naturally. As you know, as we're talking together, we're sending energy back and forth. And, you know, you'll talk to somebody on the phone, you'll hang up, so now I feel better, because you're passing energy back and forth. Usually it's a healing energy. The only problem with that too is you have to be careful. If you're getting angry at somebody or somebody's angry with you, you're sending negative energy.
Yeah.
Which is why you hang up and you say, half hour later, you're still like thumping your hand on the table and going, right? And that's when you have to get into that Reiki and meditations and all that kind of stuff to get rid of all the energy. So but just by thinking somebody around the world or whatnot and just sending energy, that's natural energy for us. We don't have to learn that. That's automatic. It's actually part of Reiki, but Reiki, I guess, teaches you how to direct it rather than just global, you know, sending it to the entire room. You learn how to direct it to a specific spot.
Okay.
So I said, did you know Reiki then? Anyway, so
I've actually been doing Reiki every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that's what your guide was referring to as becoming a lot stronger. So your intuition will get a lot stronger too. So as you work with healing, your intuition will grow stronger, which means you'll get messages to give to people. But intuition is also the ability to know who's good for you and who's not good for you. Okay. Your aura is very strong, right? It knows who you should talk to, who you shouldn't talk to. So you sit there and they'll go, go to Tim's or something, you'll sit down, you're just looking out the window, and all of a sudden your aura goes, ooh, there's 20 people here. Let's go see who they are. And then it starts talking to all the other auras in the room and goes, oh, there's a big party starting in the middle. They're all having a beer or something. Hey, long time no see. That's my weird sense of humor, right? But what they do is they give you information in your head, right? So you'll get up, you look at a total stranger and go, I don't like you. And that's your protection, saying if you have anything to do with this person, you're going to get hurt. And then you may look at somebody and say, hey, I like you. And that's your healer. And the rest you'll notice, you don't even notice when you leave. Like no purpose for you in your life at all. Just not even talk to them. There's no point. Right. And then and that's how people see you. See you as either somebody they don't like, somebody that they don't care, and somebody that they want you to be friends with. Because that's the healer form. And that's how we get to pick our friends. So that's how your intuition is going to get a lot stronger. Okay. Your kids will bring people home and you go, ugh. Right. Then you have to teach her, you know, I don't hold your daughters, but when she starts having boyfriends and whatnot, it says, okay, listen, you know, you're getting to the age, I might have to get you a, you know, I forget what the word is, anyways, some protection.
Chastity belt?
That's the one I was thinking.
You know? Not the first time that's come up in one of my readings. Seems to be a common sign. Great.
I think it's a common joke amongst healers now. You know, especially when we see girls coming into that area. Because you also have to teach them the 20 question routine, right? Yeah. So, you know, if they meet somebody, they start have to ask them, says, hey, you know what, you're going to do this, going to do this. You know, ask the questions before you get in a relationship. Okay. You know, for females, the important one is, are you going to use my toothbrush? You know, men don't care. It's just a weird thing to us. But in all, she says you'll also get more information from the spirit world. Okay. Especially from your grandmother, and I think your grandfather's over there as well. But You'll get a lot more information. Like I said, going to sleep, hearing your name being called, seeing, close your eyes and seeing people's faces, all that kind of stuff, feeling yourself being touched. No, that's the one that's missing, the boy. What did I say? No. Anyway, yeah, that's the one that's going to be touching you. So don't be surprised if you feel that. I've had people, like, when they're doing laundry, that they'll feel their shirts being pulled just because it's mimicking a child behind you. They'll just grab your shirt and pull it.
Yeah. Interesting.
If you ever feel like that, that's what's going on.
Okay.
So over the next 3 months, we have the Hermit coming up. Again, spend some time learning about your spirituality. Take time by yourself, learning new things. And it's also the end of negativity for you. These are all cards that I designed and myself and created. At the 6-month mark, you're going to have some comfort with money. So you're going to be able to sit back and relax, not have to worry about going to Tim's or something. And also loss of some friends as you move forward as well. It's a normal thing. We move friends through our lives when we knew that they had no more purpose for us. At least your spirit guide does anyway. So it's one of those things where all of a sudden you say, I haven't talked to Mary in 3 months. I wonder why. Mm-hmm. Spirit guides moved her on. She has no more purpose for you. That's very unemotional, that is. Your guide also wants you to not meditate by closing your mind or going within yourself. That's the ones where you try to be still. Just try to still the mind. And you'll find that you'll always fail because something's trying to interrupt you. Because if you still the mind, you stop the communication to the spirit world.
Okay. Because
the spirit world goes through the mind. So if you close the mind and they're trying to communicate, you're going to hear stupid little things like, hey, is the oven on? Hey, is your kid burning the house down? Oh, what's your kid doing right now? Just little things that'll interrupt you and you'll get frustrated. It's because they want you to do daydreams instead.
Okay.
In your mind, imagine yourself going back to a house you've always enjoyed, or take a walk on a beach, or somewhere where you're very, very happy, or a happy occurrence. And that way you'll find you'll get a lot of the answers you're looking for. Because once you're happy and you're in the spirit world, then you open up your whole spiritual body to being flooded with information. But if you go in the spirit world and you're kind of, then it's going to close that communication. Negativity always does that, right?
Yep.
It's the same as if you're grieving somebody, then you'll find that your grieving will stop their communication. It's only when you realize that they're okay, then all of a sudden you start getting information from them. Like, it's about time you freaking, just because they can't. Yeah, just because if you're negative, they just have to fight that. So at the 1 year mark, helping others as you wish to help. Just don't use too much money. Use healings, help them in different ways, guiding them. But if you use money, you'll never see it come back. Your everything in your 4 corners will be in sync. So that means money, work, romance, and creativity will all be in sync. So you'll be doing all the things you kind of want to. There's always a bit of negativity, Your kids will yell at each other every day. So finding yourself and being happy with what you are or who you are. And then we have you, again, working in the spiritual world. So spiritual world is very important for you.
Yeah.
Really kind of balances you and helps you to help others. One thing, the females are always the core of the family, right?
Yes.
If the females aren't happy, nobody's happy, and nobody can communicate properly, and it's all a lot of burden on females, but that's where it is. Right. Some in your family may have a new child. So, unless you wanting to have another child, but it usually means there's somebody in your extended family that might have a child.
Okay.
So,
I think I know who that might be anyway. But
in the end of any kind of, you're going to have some, at the 2-year mark, you're going to have some stress over your parents.
Okay.
Which usually means one of them will probably get injured. You may have to help them or something like that, or I don't know what age they are, but usually when I get that, it's because dad climbed the roof and then fell off, and all of a sudden somebody needs to help him walk around or something. It's a slap him every once in a while. That's what my wife says. Every once in a while she has to slap me so I know where I am.
So that's my parents, not referring to like myself or my husband or even his parents?
No, it's your parents.
Okay.
Well, I guess it could be his parents. It just means it's somebody that you're going to have to say, pause and say, okay, well, we got to wait for a second, got to wait for 2 weeks. We got to look at this, fix this issue, and so on and so forth. And then you pause where you're going, and then they're okay. Then you go, okay, we can go again.
Okay.
That type of stuff. Besides, you're probably using your abilities to help them or help, family members. So at the 2-year mark, working hard for your money, as well as finding oneself, which is that spiritual part of you that will suddenly, like I said, will be opening up.
Okay.
You'll start around the 2-year mark, but their 3-year mark and go, holy crap. Yeah. I never thought it'd be this good. Yeah. So at the 3-year mark, there's a major decision about where you guys are living, renovations or stuff like that. So whether you're moving or renovations, or as well as improved romance. Usually that means that partners until the kids leave don't even, they're back to back. They're fending off the kids. That's the way I put it. But once the kids are gone, they start to recognize that there's actually somebody there, especially men. Because men are very much egocentric. They think of themselves first and then everybody else. And then women are, let's think about everybody else first and then we'll think about me. And then when there's no more kids and you're face to face, then the husband will go, oh, I do have a wife. It's just one of those things, the way men are. It's the same as I tell all the females. You may, if you ever pick up, a pie and there's only one slice left, don't ever ask people if they want the last slice, because some male there is going to say yes. If it's the last piece and you want it, just eat it. Right? There's no sense in offering it to somebody if you really want it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of women do that, right?
It's true.
Yeah. It's the same as, if you go into the movie and your partner wants to watch some bang bang movie you don't want to watch. And you're sitting there, but, the whole family together. Okay, let's go in. And you watch the kids while he's sitting there munching his popcorn and watching the movie, right? Not paying attention to the kids. So I always tell most females, says, well, in that case, if you don't want to watch it, just look at him, says, I'm going to go watch this movie here. You take the kids. I'll go watch the romance movie while you watch your movie. Because I'm not interested. Yeah, they have every right to do that.
Yep.
Right? Just do it. And then you'll see his face kind of go white. Oh my God, I got to watch 3 kids while I'm watching a movie. Oh my God. How am I going to do that? As I told my wife once, That's what tape is about. Take them to the chair. So do you have any questions?
Are my spirit guides saying anything else that I need to be aware of?
The only thing they want you to do is just focus a lot more on your feelings than rather than on your thoughts. So if you're sitting there and you're talking to somebody and your body kind of jerks, then you know they're lying. If you're sitting there and your body kind of shimmers, then you know there's a spirit in you, near you. And what we don't realize, I think a lot of us expect with spirits is for somebody just to pop up in front of us and start talking, or right. But a lot of times it's just energy passing, and your feelings will tell you when there's something new, or there's something changing. Or, like a lot of men don't like talking, right? So a lot of, your partner may come home and not talk, but your body will say, okay, there's something going on, right? And usually I'll tell you, is it bad? Is it not bad? Is he just pissed off at somebody? Because then it'll also tell you, don't go near him, right? Right. But their message to you is that start focusing on your own stuff and start listening to your own body and your own feelings, because you're working way too many people with other people. I didn't say that right. You're giving too much of yourself to other people.
Okay.
So, like I said, take time away. But the only thing I can see with them is saying is that just around the 3-year mark, just be careful of things around you. That's in 3 years.
Okay.
That's around the major decision time. So. Other than that, they're just saying, keep working on it. You'll get there.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if your sister-in-law does it, but they basically said that if you work with her, then you'll be a lot stronger.
Okay.
But in other words, if you use to each other's energy in one spot, then you'll have more info. But if you work with each other as in trying to heal somebody, it won't work.
Okay.
Because you kind of counteract each other.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Right. So it may be okay, but as soon as you use your energy and she uses her energy, then you're opposites to each other. So you'll cancel each other out.
Okay.
So in other words, is, if she decides you want to say, hey, let's work on this together or whatnot, and it's not going to be successful.
Okay.
So they're just saying, I'm assuming that she probably wants to work on this too. But spirituality is very much a one person thing.
Yeah. Have they said anything about will my plans that I'm hoping to have happen in the next 3 months happen?
I said yes, but you have to use a lot of caution in the way you move forward. No. So this one says take control of your path. Okay. So if you take control of it, you'll be successful. So whatever you're planning, as long as you have control of it, you'll be successful.
Okay.
I think that's what they're trying to say is don't have somebody join you.
Like spiritually?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, it's like I said, when you have somebody that you can communicate like with your partner on that level, they can contradict what you're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if you're thinking of doing this job or doing this or whatnot, or if you're thinking of leaving him or whatnot, then you have to be by yourself to think about it. That's why they say, go take a walk. They won't hear you when you're far away from them. Or you just say in your mind, don't let them listen. Just joking. Does that make sense?
I think so, yeah.
In other words, just say you'll have to find your way, but be logical about it. They never come out with a clear, precise answer.
No, they don't.
Sometimes you just want to like grab them by the neck and go, shh, tell me. Trust me, I
Can
want
I
to
ask
hear
if I'll have good news at
it.
my next appointment?
Your next what?
My next appointment? Will I have good news? Or my next meeting that I have?
Oh, well, this one says that you'll be happy.
Well, that's good.
Well, let's hope so.
Fingers crossed.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
You have a good day.
Thank you very much. You
Okay.
too.
Okay. Bye.
Take care. Bye.